everyone, this is Joy with Create It with Joy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's project is for Spellbinders using their card kit of the month for April called Weekend Fun. Now I have made 10 cards out of this kit because you can easily make 10 cards. When I was done, I still had so much stuff left over. It almost looked like I hadn't even touched the kit, basically. So let's get started on these really great cards. So here is the kit. I'm just going to go through it briefly because I'm sure you guys have seen Spellbinders when they go through all the details of the kit, but I'm just going to go through really quick what you get inside. You get this inspiration card first off, and it kind of shows you what some of the dies are that you get in this kit, and it gives you a little bit of inspiration. So that's the first thing. Then you get this package that is full of pre-made die cuts, and each image has 2 die cuts per image, and when I tell you there is so many in there, it's unreal. Then you get this cute little container of green sequins. This really fun stamp set has a bunch of bees. It's so spring, and the sayings are really cute, so I definitely use that a couple times for these cards. Here are the dies that come in the card kit. You get some flowers, some leaves. There is a silhouette, the head silhouette. I don't even know what that's called. A kind of a wreath that you could use for greenery. And there's some other things in there as well. Then you get these stickers. They are like chipboard stickers in a way. Really cute, super cute. Use some of those. This has other like dimensional stickers, not really chipboard, more paper, but really great stickers. You get 10 envelopes, 10 cards. Here is their 6x6 paper pad, tons of beautiful patterned paper in there. Here's their envelopes and the cards, 10 of those. You get some foam squares and some double-sided tape, and you get this in every kit. And then here is their 8.5 by 11 cardstock pieces. You also get there's a gold mirrored cardstock in here. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 colors of cardstock plus the gold mirrored cardstock. So this is what you get in the kit. Pretty fabulous. So let's get started. My first card is I took some patterned paper, trimmed that down slightly smaller than an A2 size card base. Then took another piece of patterned paper, trimmed that down to a strip, and I'm going to be laying that on one side of this really pretty purple floral patterned paper, trimming off any excess. When I saw the cute hugs stickers, I could not wait to use them. And you can see on the back here, there was even more stickers, which I didn't realize until I flipped it over to pull this out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, more stickers. So I'm using the word hugs, and I'm just spreading that out evenly. And those hearts that you see there, those are some die cut hearts, and the centers pop out. And so we're going to be using some of those. And these are already stickers, so they stick down great. If you wanted to add some more adhesive behind it, you could. Totally up to you. So I'm popping out the center of these hearts. You kind of get like double your money, I guess, for that. I'm going to be placing those cute gold frames around, and then I will take those center hearts. There's pink ones and purple ones, and I'll pop those up onto some foam tape. I will trim off the excess of that heart hanging off the side, gluing those down. And I just love, I used to always be afraid of pre-die cuts, which sounds really funny. But since I've been doing these kits forever from Spellbinders, it's opened up my world more. It's challenged me. So it has made me a better card maker because I did something that really was not in my comfort zone, and I'm not sure why it wasn't. I don't know why I was so nervous about pre-made die cuts, but isn't that a great card? Super simple, super cute. Okay, on to the next one. I stamped some bees from the stamp set that comes in the kit, and I am using Copic marker Y06 and 19. to color in the bees, and then B0000 for the wings. It's a light blue. It kind of makes them it makes them look white or kind of clear, if that makes sense. So I'm going to color those, and I'm going to die cut them out with the coordinating die that comes in the kit. And also in the kit, you can see those little, are they octagons maybe? But it looks like the honeycomb holes to a beehive. And I cut them out of some of the patterned paper that had some gold on it. So now I am taking a piece of white cardstock trimmed down from the kit and adding those honeycomb pieces, is what I'm going to call it, in and around the card. I've also cut a piece of patterned paper slightly smaller than an A2 size card and adhered that to a white A2 size card base. Now, I originally was going to use this green frame from the die kit that I die cut out, but I ended up not using it on this card. I used it on a different one, but also in a different way. Once I had the sentiment stamped down for this card, it kind of changed how the look was, and I liked it even more. So I'm gluing these honeycomb pieces down, some off of the edge of the white, and I will trim that off. It looks good because it doesn't look like everything is kind of like sitting in the middle of your card. It just looks more natural and realistic, if that makes sense. So I lined up my sentiments inside this when I thought I was going to be using that green wreath, but it says, "Because you are amazing." And I'm going to be stamping that and using gold embossing powder. I'm using Ranger's Gray Tinted Embossing ink. I love this for sentiments because then you can see if you have a good stamped image. You know, sometimes with the clear, you can't always see that on some of your, especially white cardstock. So I like using the gray embossing ink for that. Heating that through till it's melted. And then I cut some flowers and leaves from the same dies out of the kit using the colored cardstock in the kit. So some pinks, different color pinks, and some green leaves, just adding those in and around and gluing those down. And then I glued or adhered the bees down with foam tape, 2 of the bees with foam tape, 1 bee without foam tape. And then I realized, oh my gosh, they've got the cute little flight trails in the stamp kit, and I needed to stamp it, and I should have done that before I glued my white panel down, but I didn't. I'll show you how I solved that problem here in a minute. So foam tape on the bottom and the top bee, the other little bee just glued straight to the paper. So here is that cute little flight trail. I am just going to take some tape and tape off the patterned paper so that way the flight trail is just on the white cardstock. Just using some black ink for that. This card I think is actually one of my favorites out of this whole kit. I love, love, love how it turned out. And again, I ended up changing my whole plan right in the middle and not using that green wreath, but I think it really did turn out great. So that one is done. Isn't that really cute? All those fun bees and all the gold. It's just so, so, so pretty. Okay, so on to our next card. This is some blue cardstock out of the kit. I am using the stamp set again. I'm going to be stamping the word bee with white embossing powder. I did prep my cardstock with an anti-static tool. Using white embossing powder, I will heat that through. Then I will take another sentiment, and it'll be at the top and the bottom. It's going to say Happy Bee Day, basically is what it's going to say. Happy and Day will be in gold embossing powder. So stamping that, getting that heated through, and I believe I prepped my paper again, and prepping in between each embossing is a good idea. Now there's 2 stamped images of bees, a small one and a large one. The large one is the one that I used on the card previous, and I'm stamping a ton of those all over the bottom part of the card. Then I'm using gold embossing powder, and we're going to heat that through. This card is really ultra simple. This blue card base is trimmed about 1/4 of an inch smaller, no, excuse me, 1/8 of an inch smaller around all sides. Again, I like that white frame border. Then these little bees were the already pre-made die cuts, and I'm going to put 2 of those on this card. And then that is it. I popped those up on foam tape 4 dimension, and that card is finished. Super simple, but super cute. Okay, on to our next one. Some peach cardstock, matted onto some gold mirror cardstock. Then I used patterned paper and adhered that full-size A2 size piece of patterned paper to a white card base that comes in the kit. And these are all pre-made stickers and die cuts. That big peach that says everything's peachy is a big sticker. And then the rest of these little peaches and oranges are the pre-made die cuts, and I'm just going to glue those down. Really, this is kind of all about those images and all about the paper. And you can see that background paper has like oranges and peaches on it. Really super cute. I love the color combo of this, this card. So some things have foam tape, some of them, well, actually nothing has foam tape. That sticker has foam tape behind it, but that's how it originally came. Using some liquid glue, sticking that down, trimming anything that hangs off the edge. And I love how quick these cards can come together. You guys can make a ton of cards with these kits. Then I'm going to just add some Nuvo crystal drops in pale gold to the top of this card, just for some more embellishment, but you don't have to do that. Remember, there is some green sequence that comes in this kit. And then that one is done. Super fun. Okay, next kit, or excuse me, next card. This one, I picked out some patterned paper out of the kit that looks like it's bubbly. It just kind of spoke to me as like fizzy bubbles. And so I'm using all these pre-made die cuts, 2 wine glasses or 2 champagne glasses, 2 champagne bottles. I matted the patterned paper onto gold mirrored cardstock and then put that on a white card base. So I'm going to glue all of those down. Then there is a bunch of die cut words. The one that I'm going to use for this is the word celebrate. And I will use some foam tape behind that. And then the word pop and fizz, I glued those down and used some Nuvo crystal drops, glitter drops in gold. Okay, next card. And that other card was really super, super cute. This one, these look like balloons and it says yay, and then I'm using the word celebrate. This is fun patterned paper in the background. Something about it also kind of reminded me of the 80s, and I'm not sure why, but super simple. Adding some lines that look like the balloon strings. Then I will add the word celebrate onto this. The pattern paper is trimmed slightly smaller than an A2 size card. Adding the little knots and everything for the balloons. There's the word celebrate that we're going to add down at the bottom. And then I'm going to be using Stickles Gold on this. That's what I used on the last card too, excuse me. I used gold Stickles. It's like a glittery gold. That's what I used on that last card. And that's what I'm going to use on the top of this card, just to give it a little bit of sparkle. And this card will be finished. I love this background. I think the background is kind of the most fun part about this. And I just loved the yay balloon stickers. Really, really cute. So that one's all done and fun. Okay, so this card, again, patterned paper. That green, the green leaves that I'm putting down, that is that oval die cut that I showed you earlier that I did not use on the other card. I trimmed it apart and I'm just laying it across diagonally on the patterned paper. I cut out a ton of flowers in 3 different colors of pink of cardstock from the kit, using the flowers from the die kit in the kit. Everything is from the kit, you guys. I will tell you if it's not, I guess. Maybe that's the better way to go about it. So I'm going to glue all these flowers in and around. Just really, I wanted it to feel not like a vine necessarily, but I guess kind of. And then I'm going to be putting some butterflies around. I did originally think I was going to put a bird, but I opted to not do that. Just using some liquid glue, kind of putting the flowers in little clusters together. There's different sizes. There's 2 different sizes, a larger and a smaller flower. And then I'm going to come back and add some leaves in and around that kind of stick out a little bit further off of what I guess we could call the vine. This is one of those, a sticker, but what am I trying to think? It's the little wooden stickers. Anyways, I put some foam tape behind it and it says, "You are an inspiration." And I thought that that green is perfect with all this pink and purple. So here are the leaves that I'm kind of putting in and around, kind of bringing out some of the flowers a little bit more so it's not just one big straight line of flowers. Then I'm going to add 2 butterflies. These were already the pre-die cut butterflies. And I'm going to bend the wings up just a little bit and add some glue underneath the body, and that will give it a little bit of dimension. You could also put some foam tape or something underneath the wings to keep them popped up if you wanted to. This might be one of those cards that you kind of hand deliver so nothing gets squished. I did come back with a white gel pen. I did this off camera and added some white centers to all of the flowers. But you definitely don't have to do that. That was just a little something extra. The little circle die cuts that are supposed to be the centers of the flowers, I kind of glued some of those in and around the images here. And I like how that really turned out. Super, super pretty. Adding a few more of those in the different colors. Those are all die cut in those 3 different colored pinks as well. Cleaning up some of my gluey mess. And then this card is done. Okay, next card. These are all with pre-made die cuts. It's a bunch of food and flowers. I cut some pattern paper, glued that to the bottom, a strip of the mirror gold cardstock. Then I'm taking the flowers, and it looks kind of like a grapefruit piece, gluing those directly to the cards along with the pancakes. That will be flat. Then I took that teacup, popped that up on foam tape. And that croissant I will pop up on foam tape as well. I'm going to trim off, and this is just glued directly to the white card base, and I will trim off any excess. Then I'm taking the word cheers and putting some liquid glue and gluing that behind onto the 2 popped up images, and put a little bit of foam tape in the center there for dimension. And that was a super quick, easy card to do. And I love how that turned out. I love all that white space. Isn't that really pretty with all the gold metallic? Okay, next card. Patterned paper again from the kit, a strip of the gold mirrored cardstock. And then these were all the already pre-made die cuts, like gold leaves with white and gold leaves, gluing those around. And then I'm going to be using one of the chipboard, that was the word I was trying to think of earlier, chipboard stickers that says, "We are stronger, funnier, happier, crazier together." I'm going to pop that up on foam tape and put that down. And I really wanted to be able to use a bird on one of these images, so I did. There's 2 sizes of birds, and this cute little pink and gold bird, just applied some foam tape behind him. And a few more of those leaves because I felt like it needed a little more, it needed to be a little more full down at the bottom there. So foam tape behind the bird, and I will adhere him to kind of the bottom part of that sticker and on top of those leaf images. And then that card is done. Look how pretty that is. All right, guys, last card. I took some of that peach cardstock because it is really so beautiful to me. Tore off the bottom part, used some of the double-sided tape, and I will adhere this to an A2 size card base. And I did have this piece of cardstock trimmed down prior to tearing the bottom, about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. I'm going to take 2 pieces of mirror gold cardstock strips in different sizes and glue those down. I'm just going to use some liquid glue. You could also use a tape runner. That works just fine too. I used liquid glue so I could have a little chance to slide it around and make sure it's nice and straight. And then I'm going to use the word beautiful. I will put some foam tape behind that because I do want that to have dimension. And I'm going to adhere that to the 2 stripes at the top, the 2 gold striped pieces at the top. And then you can see that really cute dress. This is again a die cut, a pre-made die cut. I'm going to glue that directly to the card base, like it's hanging from the word beautiful. And then I'm going to use some liquid pearls in blush and add some dots coming most of the way down that card base. And then that card is done and super simple and super pretty. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed all of these cards using Spellbinders Card Kit of the Month Weekend Fun. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe, thumbs up, share, comment. I do have some affiliate links below. It costs you nothing, but it does help me. So thank you for using them, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye.